नमस्कार दोस्तों, स्वागत है आपका के न्यूज़ 24/7 में। चलिए देखते हैं आज की हेडलाइंस। पीएम मोदी सेज कांग्रेस एंड कम्युनिटीज आर बेस्ट फ्रेंड्स फॉरएवर इन नेशनल पॉलिटिक्स एंड इमेजिनरी फोर्स इन केरला। Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said the Congress and the Communist Party of India were best friends forever in national politics while feigning as foes in Kerala. Addressing a public rally marking the conclusion of Kerala BJP President K. Surendran statewide campaign Kerala Padyatra in Trivandrum on February 27 Tuesday. Mr. Modi said the Congress and the CPIM have shadowboxed their way to power one after another in Kerala for decades. Mr. Modi said the Congress communist revolving door politics was Kerala banned. He urged voters to see through the elaborate politic hoax and vote for the BJP as a game-changing third alternative. Congress says the Chief Minister of Kerala is corrupt and a fascist. In Trivandrum, both India bloc allies confront each other on the streets in Kerala and accuse each other of political violence. However, in India bloc allies in New Delhi, they speak a different language over tea and biscuits, Mr. Modi said. Mr. Modi cheated communists for metamorphosing as ambassadors for the Congress dynastic politics. He said the CPIM and evolved as the subaltern part of the entitled family that sought political power. EU Parliament approves ban on foreign funding of political ads. EU lawmakers on Tuesday adopted new rules on political advertising that seeks to bolster protection from foreign interference in European elections. The European Union believes that law will make it easier for citizens to recognize political ads, who made them and whether they are targeted advertisement. Countries outside the EU will be banned from paying for political advertising in a bloc in the 3 months before an election or referendum. The rules also ban the use of personal data like ethnicity, religion, or sexual orientation for political advertising as well as minors' data. The lawmaker who spearheaded the text through Parliament, Sandro Gozzi, said the EU was taking action to strengthen the defense of our freedoms and personal data to increase the transparency of electoral campaigns, particularly online. The rules would also strengthen action against those who want to manipulate democratic process, Gozzi said during a debate on Monday. The law will apply 18 months after it is formally adopted by both the Parliament and EU states, but some elements will come into force in time for the June 6 to 9 EU elections. Maharashtra Deputy CM Ajit Pawar tables 8609 crore supplementary demands. On the first day of the 5-day budget session of the state legislature, the Maharashtra government on Monday tabled supplementary demands amounting to 8609 crore. Deputy Chief Minister and State Finance Minister Ajit Pawar presented these additional fund requirements exceeding the budgetary allocation in both the Legislative Assembly and Council. I tabled the supplementary demands of 8609.17 crore before the House, Mr. Pawar announced. The supplementary demand note highlighted a sum of Rs 2210 crore allocated for providing financial assistance farmers affected by unseasonal showers, hailstorm and water scarcity resulting in crop destruction during the winter season. In December last year, supplementary demands total 55,520.77 crore were presented in a state legislature and later approved. Mr. Pawar, who heads the Nationalist Congress Party, will present the interim budget for 2024 and 25 on Tuesday. The discussion on the presented budget will take place on February 28 and March 1. As the Lok Sabha election is scheduled for April, May and state assembly elections are set for September and October, there is anticipation for the announcement of populist pre-poll stop in the upcoming budget. Provision will be made in the vote on account for 4 months from April 1 to July 31. WTO adopts new plurilateral agreement on domestic services regulation. The World Trade Organization on Tuesday adopted an agreement on domestic services regulations that aims to lower trade costs to the tune of about $150 billion per year. The Service Domestic Regulation Agreement entered into force at the 13th Ministerial Conference in Abu Dhabi. As many as 72 countries, including major economies such as United States, Canada, Japan, China, United Kingdom, and Switzerland are part of the Bilateral Agreement. These countries represent more than 90% of global services trade. India is, however, not part of the agreement and has been opposing the Bilateral Pact. India, in principle, has been assigned Bilateral pacts on platforms such as the WTO, as it believes that it may dilute its multilateral trade framework. Till now, countries such as India and South Africa have been questioning the legality of bilateral agreements at the WTO on services regulation, investment facilitation and e-commerce. The WTO Director General hailed India and South Africa for lifting their objections to the bilateral initiative. It also has the first ever commitment in a WTO agreement to ensure discrimination between men and women when they seek permits to supply services. Kudos to India, South Africa and the EU for successfully brokering a deal to allow incorporation of this agreement into the WTO rulebook. WTO DG Nozai Okonjo-Iweala said on X, the new agreement aims to mitigate the unintended trade restrictive effects of the measure relating to licensing requirement and procedures, qualification requirement and procedures, and technical standards. The larger idea is to make the regulatory environment more conducive to business and lower trade costs for service suppliers seeking to access foreign markets. This will particularly help small business and women entrepreneurs. This is because trade costs for service are twice as compared to that of goods, which is a result of cumbersome procedures and regulatory divergence across nations. According to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD and WTO research through the implementation of service domestic regulations, economic and low trade costs by around $150 billion with gains in financial services, business services, communication and transport services. Odisha writes to NTCA for introduction of tigers in Similipal Tiger Reserve from other landscape. Concerned over the presence of sizable number of pseudo-melanistic tigers in its Similipal Tiger Reserve, largely due to inbreeding, the Odisha government has written National Tiger Conservation Authority to consider introducing female tigers in Similipal from the other landscape. The All Odisha Tiger Estimation AOTE 2023-24, a report of which was released on Monday, says a total of 30 tigers were found in the state forest and with 24 adult unique tigers. STR currently holds the largest share of the state tiger population. Similipal also holds all the adult female tigers of the state. Total 13 adult tigers, 7 females and 6 males were found to be pseudo-melanistic in Similipal. No other wild habitat in the world has pseudo-melanistic tiger, AOTE report says. Presence of melanistic tiger is surely a result of inbreeding in the present tiger population of Similipal. However, it is not a cause of concern. We want to increase genetic diversity in Similipal, for which we want to introduce female tigers from other regions, Susan Nanda, Principal Chief Conservator of Forest Wildlife, said. Mr. Nanda informed the introduction of female tigers from other regions will take time and will be done after proper studies. Odisha's attempt to reintroduce tiger has been marked by setbacks. In 2018, the state government had initiated a tiger reintroduction program in Satkosia, intending to introduce 3 pairs of tiger from Madhya Pradesh. While one pair was successfully relocated, tragedy struck as one of the tigers fell victim to poacher's trap. Another tiger was kept in an enclosure after it ventured into human settlements within the Satkosia region. BSc Odisha rejects allegations of class 10th maths question paper leak. Odisha Board of Secondary Education on Monday rejected the allegation that the mathematics question paper for the ongoing class 10th examination was leaked. Addressing reporters, Board President Shrikant Tarai said the Odisha Board examination was conducted in a fair manner and the question paper was not leaked. He appealed to students to appear in the examination without any confusion. Earlier, the reports had claimed that purposed photos of the mathematics question paper went viral on social media. On Friday, it was alleged that English question paper was leaked. The board has rejected these claims. More than 5.5 lakh students are appearing in the Class 10 examination, which is being held at 3,047 centers across the state. The examination started at February 20 and will continue till March 4. Navin launches major cricket infra projects and Odisha Barapati Stadium to become world-class complex. In a major boost to sports infrastructure, Odisha Chief Minister Navin Patnaik on Tuesday announced the redevelopment of the historic Barapati Cricket Stadium. He also laid foundation stone for the redevelopment of the VSS Cricket Stadium in Sambalpur. The CM said that the Barabadi Stadium will be redeveloped into a world-class sports complex with all the modern facilities in partnership with BCCI, OCA and corporates. At the same time, considering the legacy of the stadium, the iconic clock tower will be conserved as a heritage structure. The VSS Stadium in Sambalpur will be expanded and developed with the best cricket facilities for the cricketers in the region, he said. Navin also inaugurated cricket facilities at Barampur Sports Complex, Sri Jagannath Cricket Stadium and Women's Cricket Academy, Puri Sports Complex, Jajpur Cricket Ground, Jharsuguda and 41 cricket academies developed across state by Odisha Cricket Association. He announced that the stadium in Barampur will be named as Mahatma Gandhi Cricket Stadium in memory of Gandhiji's visit to the place during the freedom movement. The CM further announced that an integrated sports complex will be created at Sitalapal, Barampur, which include facilities for athletics, football, cricket, indoor stadium, etc. to cater to the needs of the sports person in the region. Bill Gates to visit Odisha, scheduled to meet CM Navin Patnaik, farmers, entrepreneurs. Microsoft co-founder and eminent philanthropist Bill Gates will visit Odisha on Wednesday. He is scheduled to meet Chief Minister Navin Patnaik, farmers and successful entrepreneurs during his visit to the state. Preparation is in full swing to give a red carpet welcome to the Gates. Gates also shared a video with the caption, "The Indian innovations I am most excited to see." In his blog, Gates wrote, "I will visit an agriculture monitoring center in the state of Odisha when government officials use DPI, Digital Public Infrastructure, to give farmers real-time guidance. Thanks to Aadhaar, this center is able to mention a registry of 7.5 million farmers even if they don't own land and their crops, so officials can keep track of who is growing what and therefore what kind of farming advice they need." It has also developed a chat bot that makes it easy for farmers to get the latest information about the crops, using AI to tailor content to their particular needs and in their local language. Gates further said, "This service's pest management program now reaches more than 4 million farmers since it began in 2018. The volume of crops that participating farmers lose to pests every year has dropped by 90%. Now others, including other states in India as well as Ethiopia, Sri Lanka and the World Bank, are looking to learn from Odisha's experience with this service as well as its biometric card and digital payment system." Gates also mentioned that he is visiting a low-income community in Odisha where a government program is helping women acquire skills to fulfill government construction contracts. ऐसे ही और न्यूज़ को जानने के लिए जुड़े रहिए के न्यूज़ 24/7 के साथ।